I want to say hi and good day for anybody who's
Hi.
watching. Um, we're joined here by Bibi, who is originally from Mauritius, and she is currently now a Canadian permanent resident, right? Right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And her story is a true story of sacrifice and but also perseverance because she came here for the goal of permanent residency and things didn't go as planned, but she persevered and she changed course many times and she came out the end victorious. So we're here to hear from Bibi and just hear a little bit about, even before we dive into your story, why Canada? Like, why did you choose Canada? You're from Mauritius. For anybody who wants to know, that's like an island off the coast of Africa, the southern southwest, right? Coast? No, southeast coast of
Yeah.
Africa. And you chose to come to Canada a few years ago. So this would have been before COVID. So it would have been 2018,
2017.
2017. Okay.
Yeah.
So why Canada? Why did you choose Canada?
Oh, so I chose Canada because I often heard like it's a land of opportunities, right? So I said, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Let's give it a try.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2017, I came on a study permit.
Mm-hmm.
So where I was registered in a program, like it was baking.
Ah.
It was a baking program.
Mm-hmm.
So I started my program, but at that time, like my husband and my kids, they were having difficulties to adapt,
Mm-hmm.
and my classes ended late.
Mm, yeah.
So
And you're probably taking the bus. Were you taking the bus or were you?
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So at that time, no cars, so we have to take the TTC and bus as well.
Yeah.
And I have to travel like for at least 2 hours from
Mm,
where I lived to
yep.
go to school.
Mm-hmm.
So my classes ended late and my husband had to come to pick me up.
Mm-hmm.
So then I decided it won't work out for me. So
Mm-hmm.
then I decided to switch to another program.
Mm-hmm.
Then at that time, I had a friend. So she was studying the ECE program, like the early childhood education.
Yes.
And she suggested that she encouraged me to switch to that program.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
at that time, I was not into that. So because my whole life back home,
Mm,
I worked like a baker.
yes.
So it was kind of very hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
But my goal when I came to Canada was to get my residency.
Yeah.
So I was not into ECE,
Mm-hmm.
but I was so focused on that goal that I said, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I switch. This
Yeah.
is where I switched to that ECE program.
Mm-hmm.
So my friend, she offered like help.
Mm-hmm.
So then I switched to the ECE program,
Okay.
which the hours was flexible for me and my family.
Yeah.
So at I had the time with the school and I had the time with my kids and my husband too, because it was very, very hard for them at that time. It was
Yeah.
only me. So for me, nothing was difficult when
Mm-hmm.
I came to Canada. So I had that mindset that
Yeah.
I have to do whatever in my way. I
Mm-hmm.
have to go with that.
Mm-hmm. Which is a
So
big deal. Like, like
yeah,
kudos to you too is a big deal of when you come here. It's like it's more mental and emotional than it is physical. Like getting here
that's
physically
right.
is like the first hurdle, but then there are
Yeah,
mental barriers and emotional barriers. And you came with three kids, right?
yes,
Yes. Okay. What was the
yeah.
age of the youngest one?
The youngest one at that time, she was only 9 years old.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. All right. So then your school program, ECE program was 2 years.
Yeah, it was a 2 years because you have to do a 2 years program
Mhm.
so that after that you have a 3 years work permit
Yeah.
where you can apply for your residency.
It really
So
gives you time because like I went to school for 1 year, so I only got a 1 year work permit. So I didn't have like flexibility or time. I had to get everything done quick, quick, quick. So when you do a 2 year program, then that's good. That's good. That's good. And I didn't have
yeah,
children or anybody, so I just came with myself. So it was a different situation.
more easy.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So you finished the ACE program and then you started working, and then we had a visitor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, in 2019, after my graduation, I started to work in a daycare.
Yeah.
And then yes, we had a visitor, which was COVID.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then at that time, the daycare was closed.
Yeah. So that affected your
Yeah.
ability to work because then you're working towards earning points towards express entry.
Yeah. At the
Hmm.
time, I didn't have the enough points to go through express entry, so it was kind of confusing. I don't know which way to go.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, but I can say that COVID was a true blessing.
Was it?
So,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, because at that time, the friend who encouraged me to switch to the EC program,
Hmm.
she went to New Brunswick for her residency.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then she told me why not? Why me?
Hmm.
Why not? So I can go, I can follow her. So, I was so focused on that goal and I said, okay, let's go. But I didn't know which program to go with.
Right.
I heard about New Brunswick. I heard that it's easy there to
Hmm.
get the residency because I had a friend
Hmm.
from back home. She was living there.
Okay.
So she also encouraged me to come. So
Hmm.
I just packed everything and
Hmm.
then I moved there.
Yeah.
So,
And that at that time, 2019, Atlantic Immigration Program would have been new. That's when it just came out in 2019.
I when I moved to New Brunswick, then I called Minerva. I
Okay, this
called
is where you met
Minerva.
Minerva. Okay.
Yeah, I told her that I moved to New Brunswick, and she told me that you can go with the Atlantic Immigration Program, which I think it was a 6-month program
Yeah.
where you should get your residency after
The
6
6 months.
months.
Yeah. So you went there
Yeah,
for 6 months, right? Like as far as
yeah.
you're concerned, I'm here for
Actually,
6 months.
actually, I went there for 6 months, but
Mm-hmm.
thing didn't turn out I as it was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I was working in a poultry.
Mm.
Yeah, I was working because New Brunswick, they are known for their labor job. So
Yeah.
it's
And
it's
agriculture
easy,
and yeah.
yeah. It's easy to get your residency if you are working in a labor job.
Mm-hmm. So this was like a
So
chicken farm, right? Was it a
yes,
chicken farm? Mm-hmm.
yeah. So it was hard enough. So I started to work from 7 a.m. in the morning
Mm-hmm.
and I finished late at night. So
Mm-hmm.
10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. So there was not a fixed time.
Yeah.
And you have to work. You can't say no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't say no because, if you say no, so you're putting yourself at risk.
Yeah.
So the more you say no,
Mm-hmm.
the more so they will not give you the papers that you need to apply for your residency.
Mm.
Yeah. So you have to stick to their time from 7 to 11, from 7 sometimes to 12.
Mm.
Yeah. It was
Wow.
hard job. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So funny enough, I came to know that my employer tricked me. So after 1 year of working, they told me that I am not qualified for the Atlantic Immigration Program.
Mm.
So I was so devastated, but there was another program that was PNP.
So the
And
provincial
then,
balcony program.
yeah,
Hmm.
so I switched from Atlantic to PNP
After 1 year, even
after
though you
one
went there for
year.
6 months.
Yeah, I started the process too for the Atlantic Immigration Program. But after
Hmm.
1 year, they told me that I was not qualified.
Wow.
So then I switched to PNP,
Hmm.
where it took me at least 1 year. So I think I started in 2021.
Hmm.
Yes, and then I get my residency in 2022, like
Ah,
last year.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I stayed for 2 years in New Brunswick
Hmm.
without my kids
Mm.
because they had difficulty to adapt there too.
It's a
So
different
I have,
lifestyle, right? You can talk a little bit
yeah,
about that even. Yeah. It's a
yeah,
different pace in New Brunswick.
yeah. There's nothing in New Brunswick, just work, home. That's it.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I have to return them back to Toronto. And then I lived there with my husband. Yeah, and then yes, in 2022 we got the residency. Yeah.
You could finally
So
reunite.
finally things work out
Yeah.
perfectly, but maybe not how it was, like I was planned, but I thought it definitely worked how it was supposed to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then after my residency, I switched back to Toronto with my whole family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And when I heard your story, I'm like, wow, that's a true story of sacrifice. And then I'm sure like in the process of the 2 years, it felt like forever. But now that it's out, it's done, you look back and it was like, oh, that kind of went by a little bit quickly. Do you feel that way?
Yesterday we were talking about that, and when you think about, you just came from New Brunswick last year, it looks like it's been like
It feels like,
long.
yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like that's a big thing about immigration too. Because even me, when I was in my process, it felt like it would never end.
Yes,
And
that's
then,
true.
yeah. And now I've
You
been here for
learned
10
about this
years.
program, you learned about the other program, and you're so confused
Yeah.
which one to go. You try this one, it didn't work. You have to try the other one. You have to keep trying. You have to keep trying, but at the end of the day, something will work out for you.
And I
Yeah,
think it's important to know why you're doing it, right? I think that's what really helped you to push through, because you knew that you're on a mission and you're going to win this mission. But you had like some support from Minerva, from MacBean Immigration Consultants. And you can talk a bit about that as well.
So every time I was stuck, I just gave Minerva a call and I said, I'm stuck with this. I'm stuck with that. But Minerva, she always inspire you. So sometimes you feel like you want to go back home, and Minerva will say no. There will be a way out. If you are in Canada, there will be a way out for you.
Yes.
Yeah. She always encouraged me to do this, do that. So whenever I'm stuck, just give a call to Minerva.
Yes.
Yeah, she's always here to help with anything you want.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. She's almost like extended family when you come here.
Yeah.
So now here you are, you're settled, you are all permanent residents, you've been through the thick of it. Is citizenship a goal for you guys? Are you guys going to try get it?
Yes, why not?
Yeah,
why not? But this is another thing, like you have to learn. So I think for me, it will be next year.
Okay.
Yeah, next year I have to apply for the citizenship. So this is another thing that it's not like me. So it doesn't depend only on me. Everybody has to do it on their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody, yeah.
You
did your part.
That's it. I did my part. Yeah.
And I know you said like initially your family, it took a little time to adjust.
Yeah.
To come into Canada, coming to Toronto. And now everything is settled. So how could you compare like how they felt when they just came and how they feel now that everything is through? Yeah.
Okay. So one question I always ask them, do you want to go back home now? No, they always said, yes, we can go for a vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can go for a vacation. Even my husband, if you ask him, like, do you want to go back home? No, he would say no. Because here life is, you have a better life, right? It's quiet, you are on your own, you can do whatever you want to do. Here it's like this. So I don't think they will go back one day. No.
Yeah.
We'll
just to visit,
here.
vacation.
Yeah,
just to go to the beach.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, it's a very inspiring story. I mean, I really appreciate the time you've taken to share with us today. If you had any words of wisdom for anybody, even from your home country or from anywhere in the world, because immigrants are coming from everywhere, if you had any words of wisdom to leave with them, what would you want to say to them?
I would say when you come to Canada, yes, there are many ups and downs, but you have to focus on your goal, and at the end of the day, you will reach it.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever it's on your way, you have to focus. You have to focus what's your main goal.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely at the end of the day, you will find a way out.
Yes.
Now, same like me.
Mm-hmm.
When we had COVID, I thought that I had to go back home
Mm-hmm.
because you don't know,
You don't know.
because
Mm-hmm.
you don't know how it will go.
Mm-hmm.
Daycare was shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because at that time, if not express entry, you have to work for 2 years to get that Canadian experience,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can start the process. But
Yes.
for me, it was only almost not 1 year, almost 1 year.
Mm.
So, it was very hard. You
Mm-hmm.
don't know which way to go, but there is, like I would say, there is always somebody which will come to help you out of
Yes.
those.
Yes.
At that time, I had my friend, I had Minerva,
Mm-hmm.
so it was it was it was difficult, yes, but it was easy at the same time.
Yeah.
You find a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for taking the
No
time out.
problem.
This is before work. So thank you for taking the time out and sharing your story and being so open and willing. And I wish you all the best. Like
Thank
you have
you.
more goals, go conquer them the same way you conquered Canada. And yeah, continue to inspire others. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.